According to Warren Buffett, before investing in any stock, you should always think if, in the storm of inflation, the company would sail or sink. In this video, I will explain the worst and the best investments for an inflationary time. But I will also reveal my most secret investment at the end. Inflation is like a genie. Once out of the bottle, it stays for a wild ride. In June 2022, it was 9%, and back in the 1970 disco era, it partied at more than 10%. Inflation's got more dancing moves than Saturday Night Fever. You can never predict this genie's appearance. Considering recessions occur every 10 to 12 years, you might face 2 to 3 high inflationary periods during your working age between 20 to 60. That's about 10 to 15% of your life. It would be foolish not to learn how to invest during inflation. So let's categorize assets into 2x2 metrics: ugly to pretty and unproductive to productive. Unproductive assets are those that do not physically produce any services or goods, while productive assets either add value through service or produce physically tangible goods. For your ease, I have intentionally divided this animation into 2 parts. In part 1 of the video, we will only discuss about 2 boxes of the matrix: unproductive assets. First box: unproductive ugly. These are the ugliest assets a person can own. Having a huge pile of cash is like hitting a hammer on your own feet. If you have $100 in your bank account and inflation is 5%, then by the end of the year, your grocery will turn $105 while your 100 remains 100. Inflation subconsciously burns your bank balance every day like a slow-motion movie. Oh, also, the bedtime story that cash gets double under your pillow does not work in real life. Also, investing in bonds does not help. Imagine you invested $100 in government bonds in 2020 with a promise to get a 5% coupon for the next 5 years, plus you will receive your initial $100 back in 2025. Now imagine if the inflation genie came out in 2021 to be also 5%, then he ate your returns in his lunch. Despite your good intentions, the inflation genie can disrupt your plans anytime. Also, never buy a luxury car in inflation times to woo your girlfriend. The key insertion alone will depreciate the car's value by 10%. In short, if you always prepare your life for the worst possible scenario, then why are you owning the ugliest depreciating assets? Your mistake. Second box: unproductive pretty. Assets such as gold, silver, painting, and Bitcoin are worth less to own during inflation, as neither do they physically produce anything nor can drastically increase your purchasing power. I call them pretty because of their shiny looks. Otherwise, in investment language, deserve to be called ugly. Let's imagine you own a pile of gold as tall as the Statue of Liberty. But no matter how much you polish it, kiss it, or dance on it, it does not turn out any McDonald's burger for you. The Mona Lisa painting hanging on your wall might turn your mood romantic, but it cannot cook a meal for you. In the same way, Bitcoin sitting in a virtual wallet cannot give you a morning shower, no matter how much you stare at it. You buy Bitcoin based on the assumption that the second person will pay you a higher price in the future, and the second person buys it assuming a third person will pay him another higher price. Buying and selling Bitcoin is an orgasmic experience for some people. In all cases, you are at the mercy of a stranger who will give you higher prices of gold, paintings, or Bitcoin in the future. Seriously, how dumb you are. Never own unproductive pretty assets in inflation. Looking back, we discussed the reason why we should not invest in the unproductive assets during inflationary times. But this also raises the question, then, where should you invest? That, my friend, we will discuss in part 2. Happy learning!